Hey guys, I'm gonna be reviewing a video called How Do I Stay Confident by a girl called Mary Amber.
I already asked this question on my Instagram, so if you follow me, you already know, but I decided to make the whole video about this. Basically, I came up with this theory. Would you rather come out on the street naked or in a naked costume? Everyone answered. More embarrassing would be is to come out naked, because second option is...
That's because people are embarrassed of their bodies, insecure. In nature, you're most of the time naked, except when you're protecting your genitals. They do have a so-called clothes protection for that, especially men. But otherwise, you're with your family, people you know. What's the problem? When you're living together with people that you have never met in a city, town, it's a different story still.
Even if you're not naked, people think you are because it looks like you are, but this is just a costume. So this leads to the answer that no matter what people think, don't let them tell what you're not. On Instagram, I get so much hate. People say that I'm so ugly, that I'm so stupid. People say...
I don't know about stupid, I don't know this girl, but if somebody tells you that you're ugly when you're clearly not, she has pretty eyes, she's not ugly. I don't think that anybody actually believes that. Then they are jealous. That's it. If a girl especially tells you that you're ugly, she's jealous of you.
Say the most silly things. One time I posted a song and I didn't know this song, and someone said like, ew, I thought you know the song, I expected more from you. Like...
That's stupid. Who cares if somebody knows some stupid song? What does it matter? I expected more from you. It's ridiculous.
I don't even, I'm just being shocked. You cannot meet people's expectations, and that's okay. Why would you want to meet a random stranger's expectations? As long as you know that you're a good person, that you're a nice human being, and you're smart, and you're polite, that's all you need. I get so much...
You should not be polite. I have a video on Telegram called Enslavement Starts with Politeness. It comes from the same word as police, politics, person. It's being fake. You should not be fake. You should not be polite. Politeness is slavery. It's what you do in civilization. It's when you're not wild, natural.
Ugly I am, and I know that I'm not, and nobody can convince me otherwise.
That's good, and that's exactly what being confident is essentially about. It's when you know that you're not ugly in this case. That's why nobody can talk you into believing that. Whereas if somebody who is ugly, or at least whatever, they believe they are ugly, then if somebody tells you that you're ugly, of course, you may get hurt by that. You can also simply accept it, especially if you watch black pill content and you just know what you are, what you can offer, so to speak. You just know how your life is gonna go, however you look like. Then you're probably not gonna be offended necessarily if somebody calls you ugly, but people who want to believe that they are super good looking and so on, they would more so get for sure offended by it.
Those people, they comment hateful comments and they feel so relieved and nice about this, and they think, oh, I commented something nasty, she's gonna read it and she's gonna feel so upset, and she's gonna think that she's so ugly, so bad about herself because I'm not confident, because I want her to feel the way I feel.
Exactly. Wow, very wise words. That's exactly how it is, of course. Are there any good-looking people out there who comment online about how bad somebody looks? As in actually go out of their way to do that. There's a difference between observing something and simply commenting about it. That's what I do in my videos, actually. I simply watch random people and I comment on exactly what I'm looking at. But if you go out of your way to actually try to hurt people and attack them, then are you doing good in life yourself? Are you happy? Are you some good-looking tall guy who has children and spends his life with them? Or are you somebody who knows that his life is not the way it's supposed to be? Unhappy, depressed, miserable, Who do you think comments that kind of stuff online? Only those kind of people do that. Nobody who is doing good in life is ever gonna do that. It's just not even possible because it doesn't even come to your mind. You just don't even think like that because your life is not like that. You don't live like that.
When people say something bad and nasty comments, it's not about you, it's about them.
Exactly. Wow. This girl is wise. Maybe also she just read some book by somebody or whatever. Maybe it's not her own thoughts. Whatever the case, it's correct.
I've never ever met in my entire life pretty girls who are mean to me.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Because it's impossible. If you have some kind of insecurities about yourself, you're kind of good looking, but you have a big nose. The girl with the big nose would talk about other people's noses or whatever it would be. Maybe the whole body because of how insecure she is. But somebody who looks in the mirror, not that you should be doing that or obsessing with your looks, that's a different story, then of course she will not go and talk bad about people online, in real life, behind somebody's back, because you're content with your life. You like the way you look like. Why would you then talk bad about other people? That's why pretty girls will never do that, or pretty guys, handsome guys will never go online or in real life and talk about how bad somebody looks. That has never been recorded. You have to know that if somebody calls you bad looking or tries to bring you down, anything online, you know exactly how they look like in real life. Come on, you know it. And that's what you always need to keep in mind, how these people look like themselves. You know it by what they write. Yeah, that's the funny part.
Because they're confident. They know that they are not in a competition with me and there is nothing to be mean about.
Exactly. No competition means no jealousy. Jealousy comes from, of course, you looking at somebody, you want their life, you want to look like them, whatever the case. That's why you would try to attack somebody and hurt them. If you're not jealous of somebody, why would you bother? If you're tall enough, you're handsome enough, why would you then say anything about somebody online? Why would you try to bring other people down? You can only bring somebody down if you are down. How can you bring somebody down if you're up yourself? You can't. Because you want to bring people down on your level, and you can't naturally, which is why all that you think that you can do is be mean to people. It's just so simple. Once you understand this, nothing bothers you.
I swear, always it's the prettiest goddess-looking girls who are the nicest and the best friends to me.
Yeah, exactly, and that's how it is. From my whole life experience, good-looking people are way nicer, and that's because they have been treated really well in life. The ones... I'm actually going to make a video about this. I've been thinking about it for Telegram also, but I'm not going to talk about this here now, because it's not really a YouTube-friendly topic to discuss, but there's definitely something with these people. I'm just going to keep this topic open for now.
But when people is insecure and not accepted by worldwide standards, they're always mean to me with no reason, because they're jealous, and this is jealousy. If I see...
She totally gets it. Yeah. I'm glad that you get it. I'm sure that you get jealousy in your life, because as I said, she has pretty eyes. Girls look at her, they want to be like her, and when you want to be somebody, but you can't, then you try to bring them down. That's how it always is with anybody. Look at Mr. Beast. No, Mr. Beast is not a good-looking guy. He's also very old looking for his age, but he's rich, famous, successful with YouTube, and that's why people tried to bring him down. They are still trying to bring him down, even though really what he's accused of is a joke. It's just nothing. Any other YouTuber would be ignored if they did anything like that. Faked some stuff here, CGI, whatever. Yeah, who gives a fuck? Tons of YouTubers do that, nobody cares. But if somebody's up and you're down, you want to bring him down, totally. Because so many people are jealous of what Mr. Beast achieved.
hateful comments, I never get sad or think that this is true. I would never think that this is true. I never feel bad when I read bad comments because I know this is not true. And I don't reply to hateful comments because I don't want to exchange my energy with them. So they have bad energy.
Ah, that's very interesting. I also always just block people. I don't interact with anybody whatsoever. There's just absolutely no point because I know exactly how these people look like in real life because you just know. And I know how unhappy and depressed they are. There's just absolutely no point for me to interact in any way whatsoever. It's just blocked. I don't even read. It's just like if I read one or two words, I just block. It's just like nothing. It just doesn't even exist to me. Yeah.
And I have positive energy. I don't want to exchange.
I don't believe in positive or negative energy, by the way. It's just literally a loser that I'm looking at, and I'm a winner. That's how I see it. It's just something that I don't want anything to do with.
And give them what they want. It's the same as just talking to a wall. Like, it's not gonna understand, and it can't understand. Then why would I spend my energy? This is pointless. So I just protect my peace, and I know that people just trying to hurt me with no reason. And I know that this is not true. So this doesn't affect me. I know that I'm beautiful.
As she said herself before, but just to clarify, it's not for no reason, of course. It's because of how hurt they have been, because of how bad they are treated. And when somebody writes a bad comment, then whatever they do in real life also, it's because they believe that they can achieve something by doing that because it bothers them. You gotta understand that if somebody writes something about your looks, for example, as it is with her, it's because they know that it bothers them that somebody writes something like that about them or says something to them, which is why they believe that writing something about you is going to have the same effect as it has on them. They don't realize that when you're fine with your life, and in her case, if she's pretty, that she doesn't even think about that because she doesn't even experience that. It's just not even part of her life, which is why she would never think about going on somebody's video and writing a so-called bad, mean comment. You understand?
I know that I'm smart. I know that I'm confident. I know that I'm...
Really? She does actually seem smart. Yeah, and that's rare on YouTube. What she's saying is spot on.
I'm the nicest person you will meet, and I'm proud of who I am. So nobody can tell me, especially haters. I don't respect haters, and why would I care about their opinion? Just wouldn't make sense. If you ever hated on someone, just admit that, yes, I'm jealous. I wish I...
Yes, again, great point. There isn't really any other reason why you would hate on somebody except for jealousy. Even if you think of something else, at the end of the day, it all goes back to jealousy anyway, because what is the reason why you hate somebody? Why are you emotionally involved or even obsessed with somebody? Why? And I don't care about anybody online, really. I care about myself, my own life, but that's because I like my own life. I really love living. If there would be somebody I would be jealous of, I would see somebody that I would want to look like, I would want to live like them, I would want to get attention like them, I would want to be famous, whatever the case, then of course it could be understandable that you would want to bring them down, you would want to hate on them, but you would be emotionally involved, you would be somehow emotionally attached to them. That's the only way, because you can't hate somebody except if you're emotionally attached to them, because you don't care about them then. That's the huge difference. If you really don't care about somebody, you just don't even pay attention to them. If there would be anything such as hating, then it would be really just not giving a fuck about somebody. But if you're emotionally involved, then maybe you liked somebody and then they didn't give you the attention that you needed. They did something that you didn't agree with. There's something that bothers you about them, but you're still very emotionally involved. It's kind of like when you have a relationship, right? You really like this guy as a girl, but something happens and then you hate them. Why do you hate them? Because you're emotionally involved. You actually basically love them. Because most so-called haters out there are really just lovers. They actually really love you. They really want attention from you. They want you to pay attention to them and to what they write, because a true so-called hater would not even care about you. They would ignore you. So these are all people who are very attached to you emotionally. And when you know that they are attached to you, then what can you do? What does it mean to you? You know that you have a lot of fans, that people are really obsessed with you. And that's great. It doesn't matter if they hate you, love you, it's the same. Like, they all love you. They're all obsessed with you.
What this person has, and that's why I'm jealous. I know this girl on Instagram. She has over 2 million followers, and she's so pretty and she's so rich and she has perfect body, but she posts herself crying and saying, oh, I feel so ugly or something like this. But she also posted screenshots of hateful comments she gets, like, oh, you're so ugly. You can't listen to haters because you should know that this is not true. You know that you're pretty. You know that you have everything everyone wants.
Yeah, but then she has some kind of insecurities. And on Instagram, people edit their photos a lot. There's probably something. There must be. Otherwise, you wouldn't take those kind of comments seriously, if that is the case.
Of course, they would see those hateful comments because they want to be you. Notice how it's always people who
Exactly. Man, this girl is just spot on.
are lower on status than you hate on you. For example, it's a job title. They're lower than you, so they hate you because they're jealous. Or you're in a competition, in some competition, and you win, so they get angry. In my life, I had so many women hate on me with no reason. And I'm the kind of person, I always help.
Again, she says no reason, but of course there is a very important natural reason for that. It's because of the jealousy, because they know that you're more successful in life, purely biologically, naturally.
Help everyone. I wish I gave everything I have to people, which is not too good because I sometimes care too much about people than about myself. I worked on this, right now I'm so much better. But yes, I of course still want to help everyone and I love people, but you should respect your boundaries. And when I meet people, I'm the most friendly because I have no reason to hate on people. I mean, as long as they don't hate on me, but I'm still staying polite. There have been so many situations when people have been mean to me, but I'm trying to be polite because I don't want to go down to...
That's the only thing I disagree with, being polite. You shouldn't be fake because that's all that politeness means. I get why in our society people are polite, because when you're not polite and you actually express your thoughts and feelings, then it can get dangerous, especially for a girl. Not that much for a guy. If you're tall and strong, you can most of the time not be polite because it's not going to bother you what some guy tries to do to you. But if you're a girl, you're weaker, it could get problematic when you're not polite.
Their level, hateful level. Not that they're lower than me or anything, but to...
By the way, that's why you need a guy next to you who's strong. Then you're good to go.
Hate is low. I had so many women just meet me and I'm being very friendly, but they are being so mean to me with no reason. And it kept happening a lot of times. Not 100%. I have such a nice and amazing and loyal and kind friends, but sometimes when I meet other people and women hate on me with no reason. Never understood why I got hate from women because women are supposed to support each other and help. We're not in a competition.
That's stupid. We are in a competition because this whole earth is a competition. Technically, we are on a battlefield. We don't notice that when we live outside of nature in civilization where we are protected, which is actually just enslaved. People just don't get it. And that's why we don't get that this is actually how it is naturally. We are always in this competition. Life is not that dangerous today, but still this competition is always there. It's in the back of your head. Sometimes also it's really conscious, you know it.
Some of my friends and my family told me that it's jealousy, that they're jealous of me. And I didn't believe this. I couldn't understand. Why would you be jealous and be mean about it? If I see a girl who's prettier than me, there's plenty of girls who are so much prettier than me. And I always admire them so much. And I'm like, oh my God, you're a goddess. You're so pretty.
Exactly. And that's exactly how it would be. But that's because there's a huge so-called gap between you and the other girls, because you are pretty yourself, and if you see a girl that's prettier, you just admire it because You just appreciate the beauty of nature, basically, whether you're conscious of it or not, whatever. It's just how it is. For example, when I was watching that guy Austin Wayne, I see this tall guy. He's much taller than me, but I just not necessarily admire him, but I appreciate his height and how handsome he looks and how people react to him. I watch him and I think, cool guy. I don't feel any hate, any jealousy whatsoever. Why would I? If I was way below him and much shorter than him, then yeah, people also look up to me, but people look up to him even more. I'm also taller than most people on earth, but he's even taller. But still, I can kind of relate to what he goes through. I've had similar things happen to myself, but I'm not insanely below him. Whereas a guy who's 1.60 m is gonna look at him and think, oh, write something, you look ugly, what a stupid jacket. Something stupid, because I can't think of anything else. Because they can't compete with his natural height and him being handsome. So they just try to bring him down somehow. Austin Wayne gets some hate. And the hate is really loud from these guys. They admire him so much.
I want to worship you. Like, I just admire and I'm like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. That's how it's supposed to be. Why?
Literally, exactly. Man, she's so on point. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody who's so correct about the topic.
What I hate, oh, you're so much prettier than me and I'm not, you're ugly, you know? You're just like saying even not true. You're just being mean because you want to be that. That's what hatred is. Jealousy. How I became confident at the first place. And any situation you can imagine in this world is the same. Embarrassment is in your head. And if you choose not to be embarrassed, then this is not embarrassing. Sometimes I would go out with my friend and if I had a pimple, I would be like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. People are gonna think I have pimples, oh my God. Or when I went out and I saw people, even if it's many pimples, I would never even think, oh my God, pimples. This is
Yeah, exactly. Nobody thinks like that. Not that I know.
Natural. This is nothing. No.
It's not natural. It's a natural way for your body to detox, but it's not normal to have them, let's just say.
Nobody's judging like that. As long as you're not a hater and you hate on everything, as long as you're...
Yes, and if you would have a pimple which would be visible on camera and you would make a video, then these jealous girls would point it out.
A good person, a kind person, as long as you're a normal person, not a hater, a good, nice person, you will never judge like that. But if you are a hater, then why do you care what a silly hater who will hate on everything thinks about you? You should not care. I had this friend a year ago. She would never be shy. She would say what she thinks. She would do even rude things, but I used to be a people pleaser.
Yes, nowadays being rude means freely expressing yourself. That's messed up.
Like, right now I'm not at all. I learned my lessons, I'm more mature now, and this is totally a different person than a year ago. So when we met with her, she always would tell me to pay for her food. Every single time she told me to pay for her food. And I was too shy to say no. Even though I thought it's wrong, I was like, oh, okay, I can't, I'm embarrassed to say no. But she was not embarrassed.
People like that just use you. They know that you're too weak to say anything. Strong people use weak people.
To ask me for that, and she was not embarrassed to take several $1,000s and never turn it back, and I was shy to ask for it back. And there were so many situations where I'm shy and it harmed me so much. Right now I'm a completely different person. Right now my friends value me for my honesty. I'm very, very honest. I say what I think always. I do what I want. I finally started prioritizing.
It doesn't really go together with you being polite. You can't be polite and say what you think.
Myself and not people. It doesn't mean that I hate people. I still want to help people, and I still, if my friend in need, of course I will help, or in the future when I have resources, as I said, I really want to help poor people. But if it's harming me, like giving my lust, that's not healthy, and that's what I used to do. So this is how I stay confident. I prioritize myself. I always ask myself in the moment.
It's not as if you stay confident, you just are confident because of the way you look like.
Do I want to do this or not? I please myself and not people. There have been situations when someone asked me to go out and I didn't want to, but I felt bad, so I did anyway. Or I'm on a date and the guy is being so rude and I'm staying because I feel shy and embarrassed to leave. No, the slightest disrespect right now, you have to leave right away. If I don't like a movie, I just leave. If I don't like a person, I just leave. That's how you enjoy life. And that's how you being authentic and truthful to yourself. That's how I stay confident. And that's how I know I'm a good person. Nobody can tell me something else because I know they're just haters who are jealous.
As I said, she made some really good points. I only don't agree about the politeness. Other than that, right on point. Almost perfect, really. This is off topic, but if you watch this video, I would really strongly recommend looking into eating naturally because you want to keep your looks. I assume that she's in her 20s. If you want to look like that as long as possible, attractive, ideally, of course, attract a mate and reproduce in the future, then you need to start eating raw meat as much as possible. You can start slowly, but a lot of saturated fat, even if it's not raw, you really need to start eating a lot of saturated fat. It's the only way to keep your skin in a good condition. There just is no other way because there's no way around nature. And some fruits here and there if you want carbohydrates, even some honey if you want the carbs, the sugar. But if you eat a lot of saturated fat from eggs, meat, ideally organs also, ideally actually blood, but you will probably not be able to get that. I don't know where this girl is from. She mentioned Ukraine before. She wouldn't be in Ukraine right now probably anymore, although a lot of people still live there. It's not as if the country is dead. Whatever the case, you can get it anywhere if you look long enough. I'm only saying this because she seems to be doing pretty well in life, and I really wish her the best. And the only way that you can actually do good in life and be happy and healthy for the rest of your life is by eating naturally. There's no way. And if you eat naturally, then you also want to reproduce, and when you have children, you're even happier, and that's just how life is supposed to be. Thanks for watching.